Hey guys, welcome back to the Book Haven with Rachel and Raven. We're so glad you guys joined us today. We have a fun episode, but before we get started, would you mind giving us a nice big thumbs up on our video or wherever you're listening to us? That just kind of communicates to us, you're just affirming us, you're validating us in what we're doing here, talking about books. And so, with that being said, let's get this episode started. I hope you have some tea, or what do you have, Rachel? What are you drinking?
I have tea. Mine says happy camper.
She's a happy camper.
I'm trying to convince myself of that, yes.
Okay, so this episode is just like our wrap it up for the month episode. And so we're just going to chit chat about what we read this month, or what we didn't read this month.
Yes,
maybe.
yes. Well, and also to plug the Sense and Sensibility book club that we're doing on live. I have not been able to upload the lives to YouTube, which is unfortunate because I was able to do that for Great Expectations, but it's not working. So even if you don't catch the live on our Instagram feed, even if you don't catch it live, you can go back in and watch them. They're saved onto our profiles.
Yeah, on Instagram.
Or, yes, our Instagram homepage. Whatever you call it. I'm old.
And if, either way, the links will be below. You guys can go check it out if you want to. We would love for you to. So, okay. How much reading did you get done this month, Rachel?
So I'm going to give a PSA, public service announcement, that because I see it all the time going around on Instagram about these people that read like 15, 20 books a month. And I don't know that I've ever done that. There have been months where I have read an absurd amount of books because I didn't have anything going on or something like that. But that is not the normal case for me. And I think that we should promote, like, it's okay if you don't even finish a book, as long as you're making time to read, like the act of reading, that's okay. So there you go. That's my PSA for the month. And I say all that to say, I only finished 3 books this month. And a lot of that has to do, we're homeschooling moms. So I am knee deep in a history book that's this big. I'm also reading like several other books that we only read like a chapter a week kind of thing. So I'm reading a lot, but I'm not getting to feel accomplished at the end of the month because I haven't like actually finished books. So that can be frustrating too. Like I want the achievement of like, oh, I finished that book. And when I finish that history book, I will come on that month for that wrap up and tell you all about it because it is so big. But so I only did 3. So the first one, which we actually just finished this week, was Henry V, but we call it Henry V. This is a Shakespeare play. This is the No Fear edition. If you are going to read, and I know I've said this before, if you're going to read it, you really need to get this edition. We have this version for class and stuff like that, but I listened to the Smart Pass, and I know I've said this too. Smart Pass, I can't say enough about it. She gives such backstory and whatever. And have you ever read Henry V?
I have not, but I do agree with you on the No Fear books. Yeah, we have a few of those here.
Yeah, so Shakespeare did a lot of English history, his version of it. So it's a bunch of plays that build on themselves. So like there's Henry 1 through 5, but we only read Henry 5 for school. So she gave a lot of backstory if you were just jumping into 5, if you hadn't read the other plays to kind of catch you up. Highly, highly recommend Smart Pass. So that was that one. Then the next one, I know you're going to cringe. This is my fun, silly middle grade. I don't even know. I guess young adult, middle grade-ish.
Oh, it's Lockwood.
Yes,
is it part of that
Lockwood
series?
and Code. It is. So this is the 4th one. There's only one more after this. So I'm making my way slowly through this. But it is really fun. Just like I needed an escape and this was lovely. So it is kind of creepy. They are like ghost hunters. And in the world, I kind of compare it to like Stranger Things, except Stranger Things takes place in the 80s. This takes place in the 90s. So you have that kind of like throwback feel. But it is kind of creepy. sometimes it creeps me out really bad when I'm reading it at night.
I love that you said it was lovely and then you said it was creepy.
But so the reason why I say it's lovely, because I don't normally like anything creepy. Jonathan Stroud, who wrote this, and I guess it's going to be backwards on the TV, so it doesn't even matter that you see it. But
no, it's not backwards when you show it. I don't think it is.
He is so funny. So like these kids are, middle teens, let's just say. And because kids are the only ones that can see ghosts in this world. And you could write them super annoying. They could make like idiotic choices, and like so much of middle grade youth, young adult books do, which is why I have a hard time sometimes reading those books. But this one is not. It is so funny. He's such, like all of the characters are very quick-witted. Think kind of like Gilmore Girls dialogue of like the kind of back and forth. And so you have the humor aspect, but then you also have this really cool like mystery storyline that's been unfolding throughout all of the books. So I'm excited to read the 5th one to kind of like wrap it up and everything. Cool. So then the last one I read, which I don't actually have the physical book, is the second book in the Skyward series. And I'm totally blanking on what it's called. Starsight, maybe? And I am really, really loving this series. And I'm really trying to get other people to read this series with me so that I have somebody to talk about. I know that's not you, but some of us.
I was like, shout out to talk to me about that book.
Shout out to Jackie once again. I'm trying to convince her to read it. But in saying all that, there is another book. So I finished the second book, but I'm currently reading this book. This one is a collection of 3 like short stories, and 2 of them take place between the second book and the third book. So I'm trying to read the short stories before I start the third book of that one. Because all honesty, I probably would have had the third one finished by now. But I bought the physical book of this, and so it's just taking me longer to find the time to read them. But I really like this series. Skyward by Brandon Sanderson and this is the novella book. So if you do decide, and the reason why I wanted to show it, if you do decide to read it, stop between the second and the third book and read the short stories. Because it's kind of helping make sense of what stuff was going on the side. Okay, obviously I have a lot of stuff going on and I needed a lot of escape books. So just mindless fun reading. So that's all wrapped up this month.
I think that's great. Those weren't small books either.
No, so this one is pretty chunky, but again, I just feel like, and I'm preaching to myself here, people, the like not having a whole bunch. I like the feeling of completing the book. So it's really killing me for school that we're in deep in all of these books, but none of them are going to be done until the end of the school year. So that's kind of frustrating because I'm doing a lot of reading in addition to regular reading.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I think there are just some seasons of life. It was the same for me this month. I haven't read very much. And it took a lot of work to just read what I was reading because my headspace is not there. I have a lot going on. And so my brain is very occupied right now with really huge things. So with that said, I will share, I think I got 3 books. So we both did 3 books this month. But I'm going to share kind of what I'm in the middle of reading too. So, okay. So the first book that I actually finished was In My Father's House by Corrie ten Boom. I love Corrie ten Boom. And do you know a fun fact about her, Rachel?
What?
She was born on your birthday.
Was she?
She was. And
interesting.
This part is kind of sad, but she died on her birthday. But it's like your birthday. I love it. So
sadly, lots of bad things have actually happened on my birthday.
Yes, I know. Because I have a daughter born on the 13th. So she knows like all the people who have died are around her birthday.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, this book was really good. So if you don't know anything about Corrie ten Boom, first of all, she's one of my heroes. I would love to sit and have tea with her. Um, but she wrote The Hiding Place.
Uh-huh.
And during World War II, they were in Holland, and uh, they helped hide Jews during that time. So a lot of people know that part of the story. And I think even myself, who I read her second book too, which is Tramp for the Lord, which is probably my favorite. Um, so you find out, you know about this. Most people know about The Hiding Place. And then a lot of people know about her after story. But this is like before all of that. And the way that the Ten Booms lived prior to, I guess, what made them famous. But they were always in service and serving those around them in their community. They always had people in their homes. So when I read this book, I loved it, but I thought, okay, this is interesting because it's not like they just up and decided one day they were going to hide Jews. This was an extension of what they were already doing in their everyday life for many years. Because
Yeah.
Corrie was like, she was older.
Yeah, I
I
want to
think she
say
was,
like late 40s or something.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so when World War II and they were hiding the Jews, and
Mm-hmm.
also like I didn't realize the big age gap between her and her sister Betsy. There was a pretty big age gap between the two of them. Um, anyways, very very good book. And I don't know really what drew me to like go down the Corrie ten Boom line again, but I dove in apparently. And then I also read this, it's a new book, and it is called The Watchmaker's Daughter. And it is by Larry, what's his name? Larry Loftus. Um, he wrote, is it Codename? Hang on. He wrote another book. You've read
There's
it, I
a
think.
there's a lot of code name books.
Codename Lise.
Yes.
Lisi. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds yeah.
Okay. So he wrote this book. I understand why he wrote the book. He kind of explains it all at the end of the book. But
What is the
my
book
take,
about?
so the book is about Corrie ten Boom because she's the watchmaker's daughter.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
You really did go down a
So
rabbit hole.
I'm sorry. But I was thinking this book, I don't know why, but in my mind, I was thinking he was going to write it from like a historical fiction kind of
Yeah.
perspective. But it wasn't bad. I'm not going to say it's bad. I gave it 3 stars. Okay. And I really, really wanted to love this book, but I just liked this book. It's
Mm.
okay. I just felt like he, I don't know. I guess he just took the words. I mean, she's already written everything. I feel
Yeah.
like, and like he wrote a book. There are some interesting historical facts in there that I didn't know about, but in all reality, I think, in my opinion, everyone may not agree with me. He should have just left it alone. She's already written her story, and her words are, I don't know. I just felt like he took her words and put it in a new book. And
So is it fiction or nonfiction?
no, it's nonfiction.
Oh, okay.
So, I had just read this one. I've read Tramp for the Lord more than
Yeah.
one time. And so I'm like, there's nothing really revolutionary or new in this book. So, if you want to read that one, it's fine. It is coming out. I don't know it's not even out yet. The audio is, but not the book.
Hmm.
I don't know how that is. But anyways, it came up on Libby, so I read it or I listened to it.
Nice.
Yeah. So, okay. And then the last one that I actually finished, look, I'm not a nonfiction self help. Self help, first of all, is an oxymoron. But, anyways, is this book by John Deloney, Own Your Past, Change Your Future. my review was that it was fine. I think I gave it a 3-star. It wasn't revolutionary, but it was just kind of a shot in the arm. One day maybe I will share my life a little bit more, but I needed a good shot in the arm. And it was good. I had some takeaways, and I implemented kind of a few like journaling strategies, and that was very helpful for me, very freeing. And so, I mean, I'm not gonna like say run out and get this book, but
So where did you where did you get the idea to read it? Like, where did you see it?
Okay, so he's on, I don't know, he kept popping up in something. Like some social media platform, but he was like the co-host, I think, with Dave Ramsey. He's from Houston.
Okay.
And I don't know. They were like, you know how they have those little short clip videos. And so some of the things he was saying was just kind of, like thought provoking, and I was like, oh, that's pretty. I mean, that's good. Like, I don't know. I kind of felt like it was a little bit of a free therapy session. Free, meaning I paid for the book, but
right.
Just a little checkup there, if you want to call it that. Okay. And then obviously I'm still reading Sense and Sensibility.
It's not that big, people.
Tomorrow. We have a live coming up, so I need to.
Yes.
Okay. And then the other one, kind of in line with that, but this one's taking me a little bit longer because it is just kind of, I don't even know what you would call it. It's not a self-help book, but it's, I don't know, a self-aware book. Maybe that's what we'll go with. Self-awareness is The Primal Wound. Understanding the Adopted Child, by Nancy Verrier. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't agree with everything in this book, but there are a lot of things in here that I think have helped me just understand myself and also feel a lot less alone. So she's incredibly smart. I will say that. Okay. All right. So we're going to talk about something we love. Okay. So something that I'm loving is I love getting these beautiful magazines in the mail. I couldn't find, I think this is the latest copy actually. But I have a subscription to Learning Well Journal, and it's a homeschool magazine. What do you call it? Periodic?
Yeah.
What do you call those? Okay. Anyways, and it just has some really just beautiful, hi Alicia, articles in here. Some fun, like, and the articles are good. They're not, I don't know. They're like, I can't get into an article that is super long and drawn out. So I think these are really great because they're short and really to the point, and they're really practical, and they're just other homeschool moms like we are. So that's a lot. I don't think you don't have to be a homeschooler to enjoy this magazine. I think it could be an encouragement for anybody. So that's something that I'm loving. I'm still loving my Yorkshire Gold tea.
I haven't been able to find it. Isn't that sad?
Well, honestly, I had to order it online when I ordered it, and I apparently ordered like the bulk pack. So
maybe you're why I can't find it. You bought it all. Probably. That's why.
It's so good. So I heard about it a while back from Sally Clarkson, because she would always talk about Yorkshire tea, but then she started talking about Yorkshire Gold tea. And I was like, what is this? What is this magic? So I thought I was getting a small pack to try, but it was like, I don't know, hundreds of tea bags.
Yes. Well, I should have asked you for one while I was there. So
I could have given you a box.
So I can't think of anything that I am super loving, but I'm going to tell you what I'm doing right now, just so like you know what's going on with my life. So my family,
we need to know what's going on with your life.
Yes, my family and I are doing Whole30. which we talked about on the episode with
Yeah,
Simile.
with Simile.
And it's a good kind of like reset. If you don't know what it is, there's tons of information online. There is a book. I've never actually read the book. Can a booktuber say that? I don't know, but I've never actually read the whole 30 book. But I've gotten enough information online, so you too can figure this out if you need to. But we're doing it as kind of like a reset for everyone, and I have to tell you that I'm so tired. I want bread. All of the things. So so I will love it because this is the second time that we've done this. I will love it when I'm done with it. But right now I'm in that phase where you're just wanting all the things that you can't have. So
It's so
that's
hard
where I
because
am.
you know that it's going to be worth it. Like once you get past, like
Yeah.
I think everybody's number of days when they start feeling better is always different. I think for me, it's always about a week whenever I do these things.
Yes.
And I don't know.
Yeah.
And you know that it's going to be worth it, but it's like, it's so hard in the fog.
Yeah. Yeah. And I will say, like,
Sorry.
my kids are doing it too. And we have other friends that are doing it at the same time. And so there's a good support system going on, but definitely it's always the first and second day. I'm like, I mean, do we really need to do this? Maybe there's a better way.
How important is this? How bad are my symptoms?
Right. Anyway, so I'm going to tell myself that I'm loving doing that, even though we know it's not true, but that's my current situation.
You're just like manifesting it, Rachel. I love it. Therefore, you will love it.
The vibes over here are, these are all new agey words that we don't ever use, just so people know. But anyways, yeah, I'm wading through the waters of Whole30. So anyways, that's what I'm loving right now.
Okay. I can't. We're fixing to get in our busy season of life with all the sports. So I will say I'm loving the weather. Not currently today because it's kind of gray, but yesterday was beautiful.
Yes, so we've been having good weather.
It's in that season of Texas that is very short-lived.
Yes.
So
you gotta love every minute of it because it only lasts for, I mean, it could be here today and gone tomorrow, literally. So,
well, yeah, pretty much it is.
Yeah. But we still love Texas. It's okay. So,
okay, Rachel's got a bookish question for us before we sign off today.
Okay, so the bookish question is if you could be best friends with any author, so whether they're dead or alive, who would you pick? So you go first while I continue to think about this.
Oh, this is a really hard one. If I could be best friends with an author, I mean, I would want to pick Charlotte Bronte, but I feel like she would be such a stick in the mud.
She'd definitely be super goth.
I just feel like she would probably bring me down. I don't know. I think Jane Austen would be someone that would be really fun to sit and have tea with, but also like Lucy Maud Montgomery. I know I'm going to take all of them, but I think they would be fun. I know who you're going to say. Never mind. I bet I know who you're going to say. So those are going to be my two.
Who am I going to say?
Let me see. I could almost predict. This should be fun.
I don't even know who I'm going to pick. So you should say who I'm going to pick.
I think you would pick Ruta. I mean, we're on first name basis too, so we should be best friends. But
I would hang out with Ruta too. I'm trying to think. So I was trying to pick somebody, and not that I'm sure Ruta is a lovely person, but I was trying to pick somebody too that had a bit of like comedic stuff in their writing. So I was kind of thinking about. I don't know if I could actually hang with Charles Dickens. I feel like he would probably end up making fun of me and I wouldn't even realize it. because he was just very, very smart. But yeah, I honestly don't know. I shouldn't have asked a question that I don't know the answer to. Um, I
Oh, I
don't
think that's
know.
great. Yeah, that would be actually really fun. I could be the third wheel with you and your in Dickens' friendship
There
and
you
try to
go.
catch all of the little jabs he threw at you.
Yes, I would definitely like to be. That's maybe what we should. Whose book do you want to like proofread? I would have loved to have um, been able to read those and ask him questions as they were coming out, or his thought process, or something like that. But in nowadays terms, I would love to hang out with Ruta Sepeti, Kelly Reamer, any of those people. Which Kelly
Hmm.
Reamer, her Instagram account is pretty funny, so I think she would be probably pretty fun to hang
Ooh,
out with.
you know who else? Oh my goodness, he wrote the book that was the hockey book. What's the name of the guy?
Oh, why
Oh
do you
my
do
goodness.
this? Oh,
His
Frederick
account
Bachman.
is kind of funny. Yeah, his
Yeah.
account is kind of funny too.
Yes.
And so I think he would probably have I don't know, like an interesting personality.
Yeah.
He would be fun to get to know.
I think he's like a typical like what you think of a writer to be. Like very like he doesn't seem to hang out with anybody. Very recluse. No, I'm saying like he's very recluse cuz like when he was posting about traveling and stuff like that, he was like I'm ready to be home. So that was funny. But
I feel like we would get along then. I feel like we would get along.
probably. Thanks for listening to the ramblings of the month. I need to come up with I feel like every month I change whatever the title is called. So if you have any ideas of what we should call the monthly wrap up episodes, leave them in the comments. But
After
thanks
you
for,
give us a thumbs up.
yes. Yes. If you haven't already, go ahead and do that. But thanks for hanging out with us today and catching up on all the things we've been reading. If you read a fun book this month, let us know because maybe we haven't read it yet. And we'll catch you in the next episode. Bye.
All right, bye.